Have you ever recorded a video only to find that when you go to share it, it's too big to send? You can't text it because your mobile device tells you that the video is too long, when actually it was only around a 2-minute video. You also can't email it without being compressed or reduced in quality to make it smaller because there are size limitations for sending video from your email inbox. Hi there, I'm Betsy, and I've been on Zoom every day for years, so you don't have to. I've got the solutions for you so that you don't have to figure them out on your own. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to use Zoom to easily send that video as a Zoom clip, and better yet, send multiple clips in playlists. Okay, let's go take a look. So it all starts here in the clips library. And if you found yourself here for the first time, welcome. And if you need more help with how to record these types of clips inside your Zoom web portal and build your own library just like this, well, we have another video on that called How to Use Zoom Clips, and we'll put the link in the description for you. So once you have all of these clips in your library, you can then start the process to share them quite easily. Let's take a look at one of the clips I recorded recently on how to use timers. I wanted to record some simple tutorials for my members, and I wanted them to be able to play the clips one after the other, because there are a couple different types of timers you can use in Zoom. And I wanted to stretch it out in micro learning, in little bits. So each timer is in its own video. And like, for instance, here, this clip right here represents that actual one video. And if I click on it, it brings up the video in a bigger player window. And that's actually going to happen on their end when I share this with them. So I'll get to it in a moment. So stick with me here on how when you have multiple videos and you want to share them, and you can share them together because they all kind of go together with the content. But even if you just had one video, you can record yourself in Zoom, record it as a Zoom clip, and then once it's in the library, share the way I'm about to show you. And keep in mind that you could create these clips on your computer because you have Zoom installed on your computer if you have the Zoom Workplace. And if you've been following along here, you should have Zoom Workplace installed. But you can also use your phone. You can have your phone with Zoom installed. And we also have a video on that, on how to use Zoom for mobile. So however you want the video to look, whether you want it to be a video that is wider and that's more landscape proportionate, or portrait. So for mobile view, both of your devices, your computer webcam or your phone's camera, can capture and record this clip, but you have to be using the Zoom application to do that. So now back again to our video here, where you can see by the player bar, this is approximately a 2 or 3 minute video, perfect for micro learning. And this would not send if I tried to put it in an email attachment. It wouldn't send without needing to be compressed, and it would lose quality in that case. So if you want to retain the quality, you can send it with a Zoom clip simply by sharing the link. And I'm going to get into the other benefits of this as well, not just quality, but there are some other benefits as well. So now if you wanted to share this clip, you'll see in the player window in the upper right corner, there is a share button. There's also a button with a little link, or like a little paperclip or a little link, and it says copy link. And if you click there, the link to this video has just been copied. And then you can open up an email and paste that link right in there. You can open up your social media posts, maybe into a community group that you are the admin of, and you can create a post in there and place the link. If you have a chat thread, you can put this link in the chat thread, and this link will go directly to this video. Only this one video. Now, what is the share button for? When you click there, the share button opens up the share permissions. And you want to make sure when you're looking at the share permissions, just confirm for yourself that it is set to the bottom where it says anyone with the link. And you can see there that their rights are only as viewers. So if for some reason it doesn't say that, it would say maybe only people with this access or anyone anyone in, and then that means your organization inside Zoom, then it wouldn't be anyone who clicked it. You would want to make sure that you set the permissions appropriately. Now, on the other hand, if you don't want anyone with the link to be able to have access to it, then you would need to put all of the people who would get access. And that's a different topic inside Zoom. You want to make sure that you've made contact with these people inside your Zoom workplace. So make sure that you've either learned that from me, how to connect with people in your Zoom workplace, because you can do that in the app if you're using Team Chat. And if you're like, nope, haven't done that yet, then I would say my recommendation for you is to use anyone with this link. It'll work beautifully. Now, the other thing you're going to check out are the settings at the top, that little gear. And when you click on that little gear, just make sure that you've indicated that there's no passcode. And if you want a passcode, just be sure that you are communicating that passcode correctly. All right, so in addition to how to share the video and share permissions, up at the top here is another little gear for the settings that have to do with this video. And this brings you into a whole other area, which is really neat. And I thank Zoom for putting in these options for us, ranging from, you can just edit the basic information. So if you wanted this title to be a certain way, then you can simply just edit it here. And I did that with mine because when I came in here, it had my name and it had maybe the name of my account. And I wanted this to represent the type of timer that I was describing. So I edited the title there. I also was able to put a lengthy summary. And actually, if you look right under there, there is a character count. And Zoom gives us actually 8,000 characters. So I could have given this a longer description. It's so nice when you can actually describe what this maybe episode is or what this module is to people so they know what to expect. And then finally at the bottom, there are these tags. Zoom actually put those in for me, but you can pick others. It lets people find your video when you are sharing many videos with them. And they're going to come into your space here and they're going to be able to search on your content. And this just lets them find this content. At this point, the tags may not be important to you. You can always come back in and edit this. So it's not a one-time thing. And then finally, at the top here, that's called the thumbnail. And you can see on the side there, it lets you change the thumbnail. And that's an image. And actually, Zoom created the image for me when I recorded the video. So if you had another type of image, maybe a graphic that, say, you did in Canva, you could import that image in there. And I'll show you an example of that next. So just stay with me here. And after you've confirmed everything on this screen for the basic information, click Save at the bottom there, that blue button. That will assure that any changes you made, the title and the summary, as well as the thumbnail, are saved. The other settings that are provided to you here have to do with editing the video down. You can also add a call to action button. So if you wanted people to watch your video and then maybe go to your website where possibly you are selling a product, maybe a digital product, on how to use that application, well, that button can be right there on the video. And then that brings us to advanced settings. So now follow along here, right? We were in the player window. We went to that gear at the top of the screen, and then we go to advanced settings. So you're seeing settings a lot in here. And I just want you to follow along because this one's very important. So pause the video if you need to, find where we are, and then come back to us. Okay, when you click advanced settings, in here, the settings allow you to say whether viewers can view comments and whether they have to be signed in. So allowing signed in viewers to add comments. And that just means I want you to think about this for a minute. When you are sharing the video, do you want people to have to sign into their Zoom account in order to watch your video? Or do you want to just send them the link and have them watch it right away? Now, you could be listening right now saying, oh my goodness, I don't want them to have to sign in, which you're thinking, why would I want them to have to sign in? Well, in many cases, it could be an internal video. Maybe everybody in your company has to have their Zoom account in order to view the Zoom video tutorials. And so that could apply to many of you. If you don't want people to have to sign in, then make sure this bottom one right here, require guests, must register their email or sign in before they can view the clip. So we are not requiring them. So you're going to make sure that that setting is off. You don't want guests to have to register their email or sign in before they can view the clip. Just make sure that's off. And so we go back up to that first setting, allow signed in viewers to add comments. Well, that's a different story. When someone is adding a comment, hey, this is a great video. Thank you so much. Or I have a question for you. They have to sign in for that. So, we don't want anybody to be able to leave a comment without knowing who they are. So we don't allow anonymous comments. It's just a security and privacy thing inside Zoom. So if you're not going to use comments this way, then you can just turn all that off with the first one. All right. And then that second one was viewers can see the transcript, which does help people, especially helps you to remain compatible with or compliant with some laws that you might have in your state or your country with helping people who maybe can't hear a video or have some sort of accessibility needs, and therefore they can read the transcript and still get your training. And in this last section on custom branding, when you go through there, you can actually apply your branded colors by just clicking one of the buttons that's provided, or you can add a color that is specific to your brand. And when you click that color, you can change the way the background looks. It's like a very subtle color change. And there's also going to be a player button. The bottom there, right next to the play button, there's a little player button that goes across. See that there? Now the bar is purple. So it follows the colors that you choose here. And if you want to add one of your colors specific to your brand, just add that code here and then click done. And then you'll be given that extra color code available to you. And then finally, you can change or add, depending on what your options are right here. You might not have an image, and you can upload an image, which appears in the upper left corner of your player screen. So if you needed to make this custom, maybe to your tutorials, you can do that here. Just make sure that you click save in the bottom right corner. There you go, to make sure those stay. If you want to look and sound great on Zoom without getting overwhelmed, grab my ultimate guide to Zoom audio and video. Inside, I show you the exact steps to look polished, sound clear, and feel confident every time you hit start. It's simple, it works, and it'll change how people see and hear you online. So once you have your clip set, you have it recorded, you've looked at the player window and the player settings, then you're going to return here in your Zoom web portal. And on the left sidebar there, you're going to click on where it says My Playlists. This is how you're going to be able to bring together multiple clips into a playlist so that when you share the link to the playlist, your viewers will be able to play all of the videos in sequential order. If that helps you, they want to view videos 1 through 5, they'll be given videos 1 through 5 in the order that you provide them. And so here's how we do that. So you're going to start by creating a new playlist. So you see in the upper right corner, go ahead and click on that button. And in order to create the playlist, it does need to have a name. It would be best if it has a thumbnail so that people know visually what the playlist is about. And then you can give a description of the playlist if you desire. And so if we were going to create a how to use Zoom timers playlist, that's my topic. You would be giving your topic. And then if we want to add a graphic, and we could choose something that you have readily available, and you would want to create this graphic ahead of time. It could be a picture of the title. I love using Canva for this type of thing. And let's use something that is Zoom related. And once you put the picture in, you'll notice if you use something from your phone, you have to crop it according to the size restriction inside this viewer. So you can see here, you can size it, but it can only be that big. So if you are using something from your phone, understand that it's going to crop it down. And then when you click save, that thumbnail is provided for you on the screen. The next step is to add your clip, your first clip of the 5 to that playlist. So in the upper right corner, click the button that says add clip. And yes, the clip has to be in the library already, because you see here, it provides you with all the clips that are there. And so you're going to locate the clip that you want to do first. And like in my case, you can see here, this is a real life example where I created an intro and I would want the intro to be first. So I'm going to choose the intro video and click the add button at the bottom. And there it is. It loads in that video first. And you're just going to repeat this process until all the clips are there. Now, in that instance, I selected 2 of them and clicked the add button, and that just makes it a little faster. Now, if you're getting to that point where you're adding multiple ones at a time because they're all ready, notice that it might have dropped it in the order that you don't want, because you see now my intro is at the bottom. And so if for some reason you have to, or you want to rearrange these, you can do that. Place your pointer on the far left. There's a little grid symbol. It's like 6 dots. Click and hold and then drag. And then you can drag that into position very nicely. I'll just repeat that again. And now it's in the order that I want. And finally, to share this playlist, in the upper right corner, there is a button to share. And again, the share permissions indicate that anyone with the link is going to be able to view it. If for some reason you are sharing this with a team and they are actually collaborating on this playlist, then you might want to consider them editors. But if these are just your viewers, make sure you only give them those permissions. And when you click copy link, then that link can be sent into either the email, the text, the chat thread, social media post, wherever it is that you're communicating it. So here's a playlist that I am using to show those multiple timers. I've got all of my clips in place. I've even given a bonus clip at the bottom, which uses a graphic in Canva. So actually, not all of your videos have to be ones that you've recorded with the camera. It could be a video that you've made elsewhere, and you can bring that video in here. And then in the upper right corner, I'm going to click copy link. I'm going to go into a new window just to show you what this will look like when you share it out to people. So here we are in a new window. I'm just going to paste that link in. All right, and there we go. As long as you've adjusted the settings so that none of these videos require sign-in, it lays it out beautifully. You can see the name of the playlist at the top, and each video is in its own player in the original quality and sizes that it was recorded. And you know what? Inside Zoom clips, you actually get better quality inside Zoom than you do if you're recording in a Zoom meeting. So definitely try this out. And you'll see here that when they choose one of your videos, they just hit the player. This next timer method. And then your video plays beautifully. So now you know how to send a video as a Zoom Clips playlist. Whether you're training a team, supporting your clients, or building your own digital library, playlists make everything simpler and more professional. If you found this helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment with the word live if you want more tutorials on how to record yourself when you are in live Zooms with an audience. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.